Have you ever let food go bad in the fridge or thrown leftovers out without a second thought? These seemingly small decisions are part of a much larger problem in our community, a problem that affects both our environment and our community. Food waste is a moral issue that is seen on a global scale. Our community contributes to this wastefulness, and without awareness brought to this issue, it will only cause more harm. According to World Food Day 2025, 23 shocking facts about food waste. Households waste over 1 billion meals worth of edible food daily. This equals to approximately 1.3 meals every day for everyone in the world facing hunger. We often hear news reports about the starving families in our world who cannot afford to eat, but it is challenging to imagine that households waste perfectly good food that could feed 1 billion of these people. Just because food is past the best if used by date doesn't mean it is inedible. People are quick to throw away groceries that have passed this date, just because they view it as less appetizing when the taste is actually the exact same. Food waste in our community is not just a moral issue. It is a serious economic and environmental problem that demands immediate action to reduce its harmful impacts on both our environment and our local economy. Food waste is a serious but misunderstood issue that can be reduced in our community through many solutions, some of which include better meal planning, proper storage, and mindful consumption, which are sometimes challenged by their lack in practicability.
Food waste in our community is a huge problem. It is negatively affecting both the environment and the community. Food waste is defined as the food discarded by consumers because of physical appearance like color or household plate waste. Some examples of food waste are half-eaten meals left to be thrown away, food scraps, and food left in the fridge to go bad. Food waste takes place on farms, in facilities, in retail, but the biggest portion of food waste takes place in households. This is a vast problem because perfectly edible food is being thrown away in tons. This waste makes up most of landfills' municipal solid waste. There's not enough space on Earth to store billions of pounds of food waste. Since this issue can be easily addressed by quick lifestyle changes, it is one that needs to be dealt with as soon as possible. Landfills are approaching overstock, and our environment is tired of being destroyed. Food waste is a source of methane emissions, which tears down our environment. The article, "Food Waste is a Massive Problem, Here's Why," states, in landfills, food gradually breaks down to form methane, a greenhouse gas that's up to 86 times more powerful than carbon dioxide. Methane is among the most powerful and destructive greenhouse gases. When greenhouse gases are emitted into the atmosphere, they destroy the ozone layer. This layer of the atmosphere is one that protects us from the sun's dangerous rays. Greenhouse gases are also directly coordinated to global warming. When methane is accumulated in the troposphere, it traps heat and warms the earth. All of this dangerous depletion of our atmosphere is tied directly back to household food waste. This is an urgent issue that flies under the radar. It is common to assume that one meal being wasted isn't that big of a deal, but when hundreds of families in our community assume this, it becomes dangerous.
Food waste is an economic issue. The economic impact of food waste states that around a third of the world's food is wasted annually, which translates to about 1.3 billion tons or $940 billion in economic losses. Our community is economically declining because of food waste. When food is wasted, money is wasted. This piece of evidence shows that when food is thrown away, not only the food is being wasted, but also the money, labor, and energy that went into producing it. Food waste disrupts the balance between production and consumption. This is inefficient and therefore inflates food prices. Household food waste creates problems for families in our community. They are essentially throwing away valuable money and time as the leftovers go into the trash. These small losses add up quickly, which will continue to produce financial strain. Waste has to be collected and managed by cities and landfill companies. Excess waste will put unnecessary work on trash companies, which can cause prices to rise. Luckily, excess waste can be avoided altogether through some simple solutions. We should reduce household food waste in our community through coordinated local actions such as better meal planning, proper storage, food sharing programs, and composting initiatives. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, meal planning helps you avoid buying food you already have and ensures that you use what you buy before it spoils. Planning your meals before shopping can significantly cut down on wasted food. This evidence shows that food waste often begins before the food even reaches our kitchens. When people take time to plan meals ahead, they're less likely to purchase excess groceries that will go unused. Simple actions such as making a shopping list based on what's already in the fridge or pantry can reduce household waste almost immediately. This solution doesn't require extra money or technology, just mindfulness. If every household in our community practiced intentional meal planning, we could significantly reduce the amount of edible food that ends up in the trash each day.
Utah State University's Extension's 2024 guide on reducing household food waste states, storing food properly and rotating items using the first in, first out method helps keep food fresh longer and prevent spoilage that leads to waste. Proper food storage is one of the simplest yet most overlooked ways to fight food waste. Often, families throw away items that went bad simply because they were forgotten in the back of the fridge. By rotating food and organizing storage areas, we can ensure that older items are used before newer ones. When stored correctly, many foods last much longer, giving families more time to use them and saving money in the process. According to Feeding America, food rescue is a powerful solution. Food rescue sends surplus food from farms, stores, and restaurants to food banks. This evidence shows how food rescue offers a direct and realistic way to reduce waste while helping people in need. By collecting extra food from restaurants, grocery stores, and farms, and donating it to food banks, we can keep perfectly good food out of landfills. Communities can easily take part in this by organizing local partnerships between food businesses and donation centers. This creates a simple system that makes a big impact. Less waste, fewer greenhouse gases, and more meals for families who need them. According to Ohio University News in their 2025 article, composting is a simple, cheap, and effective way to reduce methane emissions and divert waste from landfills, all while creating a nutrient-dense soil. This evidence shows that composting is not only environmentally beneficial, but also accessible and cost-effective. By turning food scraps in nutrient-rich soil instead of sending them to landfills, composting prevents methane emissions from entering the atmosphere. Community composting programs of local drop-off sites could make this process easy and convenient for households.
As this chart shows, most food waste happens right in our own home. In 2022, households wasted about 631 million tons of food, more than double the amount wasted by restaurants and stores. This really shows how much power we have as individuals to make a difference. One counter-argument could be in regard to the claim about meal planning, reducing food waste. According to Delis Knowledge, meal plans are a rigid set of guidelines telling you to eat this much, this exact thing, at this exact time. You might be able to follow that for a short period of time, but then life usually comes in. Stressors begin roaring back. You forego said meal plan for a relaxing night out with friends, or you don't have time to fix said meal and end up ordering takeout, and that definitely was not part of your plan. This evidence gives multiple reasons as to why meal planning doesn't always work, and while it can also be added stress to some. While meal planning may seem like a beneficial idea at first glance, Others view it as impractical for several reasons. One reason is that families are often on different schedules every day of the week, between meetings, work, school, sports, social outings, and more. Dinners that one plan don't work out the majority of time. In closing, it is important to remember that food waste is not just a distant issue. It's one that affects our environment, our economy, and our community as a whole. We've seen how food affects our environment and economy, and how practical solutions like mindful meal planning, proper storage, food sharing, and composting can make a meaningful difference despite their challenges. By planning meals, storing food properly, donating extras, and composting what's left, we can help reduce waste and make our community more sustainable. Together, we can turn food waste into a positive change, one household at a time.